What do you think I'd mean if I'd said someone was a significant individual?
I think you'd mean people who've done extraordinary things, like jumped a dirt bike over a row of burning cars.
Yes, you're right. Well, half right. The people I'm going to tell you about today have done things even more amazing than that.
Whoa. Okay. Who have you got for me, T-Bot?
Okay, first up, we have William Shakespeare. He was born in England in 1564, and some people think he was the best playwright ever. He wrote over 37 plays in his life, including Romeo and Juliet, one of the most famous love stories in the world.
Love story? Yuck.
He also wrote plays, which included big battles with huge armies and witches and magic.
Oh, now we're talking.
Shakespeare also died on his birthday, the 23rd of April.
Dude, what a way to spoil a birthday party.
The next person is Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was a black woman born in America in 1913. Growing up, she became aware of how life was different for black people compared to white people. There were many rules and laws in place that gave white people privileges and kept them separate from black people. Black children had to go to different schools, and while white children could go to their schools on school buses, black children were made to walk.
What? That's disgusting and so unfair.
I know. On buses, there were different sections for white and black people. In 1955, after a long day at work, Rosa Parks got onto a bus and sat down. But when the bus got busier, the driver stopped and told 4 black people to stand up so that some white people could have seats.
I hope they didn't stand up.
Well, 3 of them did, but Rosa Parks refused. Eventually, the police came and arrested her, and she was made to pay a fine. But what she did inspired lots of people. And black people in her town refused to ride the buses anymore, even if for some it meant walking 20 miles to get to work. It's thought that Rosa Parks' peaceful protest helped to start the civil rights movement in America, and she dedicated much of the rest of her life to fighting for equality.
What a brave lady. It's just so silly she had to go through that in the first place.
I understand most things in the universe, Squirrel, but I can't understand racism.
No, me neither. Do you have another person to tell me about?
Well, there are lots to choose from. But if we've only got time for one more, how about Neil Armstrong?
Oh, I know him. If I could be anyone in history, I would have loved to have been him.
Yeah, Squirrel? Why's that?
He was the first person to ever set foot on the moon. Imagine that, going to space and actually walking on the moon.
It was an amazing moment for the whole world, for sure. For hundreds, maybe thousands of years, people had been wondering what it'd be like to go to the moon. And on the 21st of July, 1969, Neil Armstrong did just that.
Don't forget Buzz and Michael, though.
Oh, of course. There were 2 other astronauts on board the spacecraft Apollo 11, Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. Though Collins stayed orbiting the moon while Armstrong and Aldrin went down to the surface. When he first set foot on the moon, Neil Armstrong said, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind."
Yeah, you know, T-Bot, he meant to say, one small step for a man, but made a mistake.
I think we can forgive him.
Yeah. Wow, what amazing people!
And that's only some of the ones on my list. We didn't even get on to Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Greta Thunberg, or Malala Yousafzai. And there are, of course, even more than that.
Maybe one day people might think of me as a significant squirrel.
Oh, they'd be silly not to.